Stacy Clark here, owner and general manager of Unlimited RV. As racers, we know how important time is. Not bad, kid. 5 seconds faster. As racers, we know how important reliability is. At Unlimited RV, we have lifetime warranty, so you know we've got you covered. At Unlimited RV, we offer nationwide free shipping, so you don't have to waste your time getting into the RV or motorhome for your next big adventure.
La Bufadora, the authentic taste of Baja.
At Baja Designs, we have lights for all on- and off-road enthusiasts. For 30 years, we have been lighting up the night. We are Baja Designs, the scientists of lighting.
Your winter savings start now at 4 Wheel Parts with deals on tires, wheels, and accessories for your rig. Get clearance items and select products for up to 50% off while supplies last, plus up to 20% off Overland products and up to $200 off BFG tires. The deals won't last long, so hurry in to your local 4 Wheel Parts or shop online at 4WP.com.
KMC's pursuit of victory has pushed us to the front of the pack, to the brink of destruction, and across the finish line for decades. Regardless of the driver, the vehicle, or the terrain, these are the wheels that will help you win by a landslide. The process of relentlessly redefining performance cannot be learned or taught. It's in our DNA.
All right, guys, welcome back. We are here once again with your next Fishgistics update. You guys knew we'd be back. We'll be here all night long for you guys. It is 11 o'clock. It is almost day 2. We got one more hour until it is actually Saturday, so we're almost to the weekend. If you guys are on the East Coast, it's already the weekend. So let's keep it going. We're going to be up for a while. Let's go over and take a look at the tracker here. So on the tracker, we have... No, the number 70 didn't magically jump in front as much as they would like to be leading the race right now. This is what the concrete team would like to see on the tracker. Only problem is they're out coming back on the highway. So like I said earlier in the day, major bummer for the 70. They had a transmission problem, and then they ended up driving off a gnarly cliff at one spot, and that kind of ended their day. They just got the truck out, and they're on a trailer on the highway. So it looks like they're in the lead right here, but they're actually on the highway once you zoom in far enough here. So don't be fooled. The 83 is in the lead. That is correct. You can see Luke McMillan is in first right there. He is at mile. He's coming into Valley T. This is a speed zone right here, so you're going to see Luke doing 35 miles an hour. That is exactly what the speed zone is, all the way until you get to the famous Goat Trail. I'm sure all of you guys have heard about the Goat Trail before. It's right here where you turn off the highway. It's a narrow little trail. It's got a couple big rocks. Go in this direction. They're on the right-hand side, so a couple big rocks that you have to go around. It's a little bit sketchy, especially at night. It's tight in a trophy truck, honestly. It's really tight through there. You only have a couple inches on each side. But Luke McMillan has done this thing probably a couple hundred times in his life, probably maybe even 1,000 times he's done the Goat Trail. So he's almost to Valley T. He's going to come up here. Might stop for tacos. There's a really good taco stand right here. So honestly, with the lead that him and Dan have right now, they could both stop for tacos, get some tacos in Valley T, and then keep going, and they'd still be in the same positions that they're in right now, because these two guys have literally just checked out on everybody. Look how far back we have to come over here just to see the next truck. We have Luke McMillan way up here, 679. Dan McMillan running in second currently, and then nobody is anywhere even close to the two brothers. They are all the way back over here, and it is Larry Rossler in the 43. Now, I did just talk to Ricky Johnson a couple minutes ago, and he said he got out of the 21L, and Mike Coleman is in the 21L right now. Their tracker hasn't been working all day, and they're right here. They're right around Larry Rossler. They're literally right where Larry Rossler is, and probably will be pretty close to that the rest of the way in. So remember, the 21L, the leading Legends class entry right now, is actually right here, just not showing up on the tracker. So they're going to be third. I mean, look what mile are they at right here? 627, and Luke is at 679. That's a massive, massive lead this late in the race. So I would stop for tacos if I was them, because how often could you stop for tacos in the middle of a race and still win a race? I mean, I would stop for tacos. So anyways, the 43 back here, and then we have 19, Tim Herbst is following them, followed by Mikey Lawrence here in the 85, and this is Dustin Grabowski in there now. Tim Herbst is out of the 19, and that is Pat Dean in the 19. Still Larry Rossler in the 19 or in the 43. He's driving all day, so that one's easy. We never have to think about who's in the 43 because Larry's driving the whole thing. So that makes it nice and easy. Back to the 26, Dave Taylor. Dave Taylor is not driving. It is Ryan Pullman in there now, so he is driving the 26. So that's a rundown at your top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then in 7th, you can see we have Raul Gomez. He's at 0 miles an hour. That is definitely not good. So Raul Gomez at 0 miles an hour. That would might be a pit right there, but I wouldn't think so. That's not a pit right there. Nope, 90's at 0 miles an hour. And then Dallas Luttrell is behind him. He's moving at 41 miles an hour. So if Gomez stays stopped here for very long, they're going to get passed by the 87 on the way in. So we will, I don't know. We'll see here. What else do we got? Number 6, Dan Myers. They're coming along. We got Cody Swanty here. Then we have, they've actually had a really good run here. They started way far in the back. I think they started like 35th. They're way in the back. They didn't race the last race, so they had to start in the back. So really good run for the 25 going on here. It's actually Rory Ward, I believe, that's in the truck right now, he said. So, yeah, Rory's in. He's going to go to mile 795. And then after him, Cody's going to get back in and do the finish. So Rory Ward, a lot of you guys know who he is. He's been around for a long time. Jonathan Brenthal, that's not good. 0 miles an hour. That's not a good spot to be, 0 miles an hour. That's up there by Mike Sky Ranch. That's super tight and technical there. We'll see if Gary Magnus in the 45 is able to get around him in a minute. A lot of this stuff up here is literally one lane, and you can't go around. So if somebody gets a flat or they break something, you have to stop, get out, and help them just so that you can have a chance to keep going. There's literally been times when cars have gotten pushed down the cliff here before because so many people have been waiting behind them that they were just over it, and they literally pushed the car off the cliff to get by. I'm not saying that's going to happen right here. Obviously, this is much later in the race, but that has happened in Baja before. It's a pretty gnarly section up here. If you guys have never been up here, it's fun, but it's very tight and technical, that's for sure. So hopefully the 27 isn't blocking the road right there, and hopefully they get going again in a minute or two. Tracy Graff and Justin Bean Smith back here in the 58. 475 is where Tracy Graff was going to. So he was going to go right here. That means that this is Bean driving. So Justin Bean Smith is now driving the 58. Following him, we have the 18, JP Gomez. He is turned down the Mike's Road and headed up there. And that's about it. Everybody else is kind of broken behind him, really. There's not any more. I think it's honestly like the last trophy truck still moving. None of these guys are in the race anymore. And yeah, that's it. That is the last trophy truck moving is right here, the 18. So that is the sweep trophy truck right now. So looking at another class, let's go over to class 1 because we can knock out a bunch with this update always. And we will go class 1. All right, 138. So the 138, Kyle Quinn. They have been leading all day. No pressure behind at all. Literally, they are on a Friday cruise. about to be on a Saturday cruise in 50 minutes. There is no pressure at all on Kyle Quinn. He just has to drive and get to the finish. Damon Jeffries is back here. That is the second place Class 1 car. And there is, like I said, there is no pressure. He is he's so far back there that it doesn't really matter. There's a there's a long way to go, but you just got to cruise and be smart at this point. Let's see. What else do we have? The next update for 10, Class 10, the 1022. They have been up front for most of our updates, 1022. The 1062 behind them, 1064, and the 1009. Still really good race. Every time we look at Class 10, every hour, it's anyone's race in Class 10. Nobody's cruising there. Those guys are all on the pipe. It is way too early for anybody to think they can cruise in Class 10. And look back here. You got a whole bunch more Class 10s right here. That is the class that is the closest in this race between all the amount of cars that are within that little amount of miles of each other. Going over to Class 1600. Once again, so okay, look, if you just joined us, see this 11 car up here? We have this 11 car that's actually in front of all the 1600 cars now. The reason for that, see this blue line right here? This is the Sportsman shortcut. All of the Class 11 cars took this shortcut and they missed the whole bottom section, this whole bottom loop. They missed all this. They bypassed it. So they were able to jump over legally. That's what it's designed for. But now you have a Class 11 car that is up here in front of some of these other guys. So in contention, you got to be really careful. The 1105 is your lead Class 11 car. They're first. And then the 1626 is also your first 1600 car. So no, the 11 car is not beating the 1600 car. They didn't do the full course. So you can't compare the times or the miles on these classes anymore with Class 11 because they didn't do the same course. So 1626 is right there. They're your first 1600 car. Your second 1600 car is Eli Yee. And then your second 11 car is right in here, Alex Gonzalez, right in the mix there. So that's what's going on with all those classes. Now let's go look at the Spec class because we have a whole bunch of them. So we're going to turn on the Trophy Truck Spec class and check them out. All right, we got to go back up because they're a little ways over little ways along the track. The 264 Pierce Herbst, they've been out front all day, pretty much all day since Christopher Polvardi had an engine failure earlier, at least. The 233 Justin Davis, looking pretty good. He's coming to check 2. He's about to cross Highway 1 and head to the Pacific and head up. Now, Justin Davis in the 233 is going to drive to mile 630. So he's got about 50 miles to go from where he is right here. And then his brother, Jeremy Davis, is going to get in and take that truck to the finish. So they'll be doing a driver change in just about 30 miles. And then, or what did I say he's going to? He's going to 630. Sorry, in about 50 miles, he'll be doing a driver change. The 238, they are also going to be doing a driver change at mile 580. So right here, basically where he's at, you're going to see the 238 come to a stop. And the 238 is going to have Jason Coleman jump out, who's in it right now. And you're going to have Jason McNeil get in this car and take it to the finish, this truck, and take it to the finish. It's going to be Jason McNeil in the 238 in just literally right here on this corner. You're going to see him go to 0. And that'll be Jason McNeil getting in the 238 to the finish. Now, behind them, there's a big gap. So really, the Spec Truck class is going to come down to these 3 guys right here. This is looking at your winner right now, these 3 guys are your favorites. They got a pretty big lead. It comes all the way back to the 263 EJ Herbst. Now, if you weren't tuned in earlier, this is kind of a cool story with this car. So this is EJ Herbst and Ryan Millen in here. They're literally just swapping seats was the plan. Anything can happen during a race, right? Your plan can always change. The plan was EJ and Ryan Millen were going to do the whole race, and they were just going to switch. So EJ was going to drive for a while, and then Ryan was going to drive, and then EJ, but they were going to do the whole race. The only other part that's cool about this truck was used for pre-running by his dad for the whole race. So they had 800 miles on this 263 before they started this race today. So that truck was very used up. The body was used up. Everything was used up. And check it out. They're running 4th place right now, 550 miles into the race. So what's that tell you? That's a pretty well designed and built truck right there. It could go 800 miles of pre-running, which nobody's nice to their pre-runners, right? And then they can get in the race and run 4th position right now. So kind of a cool story about the 263 there. Followed by the 244, the 299, 266, and 278. 297. You got a whole bunch of them here. You guys get the picture. A bunch of specs there. But right now it's all 264 pure Serps. That truck was not used for a pre-runner. That truck was brand new at the start of the race. Almost yesterday. We got 45 minutes till it will be considered yesterday. All right, so that's a look at those. If you just joined us, the 7X finished earlier, first bike. So the 7X is your bike winner. And then let's see what else. Let's see. Okay, we are going to look at the Pro UTV classes. There they are. Took me a second to find them. This is like our 13th update or something. We're still going strong. I haven't slept yet. We don't sleep until everybody's finished. And we're going to keep these updates going all night for you guys. All right, 1869, Brandon Sims is first. Craig Scanlon is second. They've had a really good back and forth battle going on between these two guys most of the day that we've been watching. Craig was out front for a long time. Brandon ran him down, and Brandon got in front of him. So he's in front of him. Behind him, we have the 1871, Wayne Matlock. That's who's in first, second, and third. And then we have Kristen Matlock. So we got Wayne Matlock. Kristen Matlock's starting to catch back up. So Kristen Matlock's catching up to Wayne a little bit. And then we have the 1898 here. So that's your lead top 5 cars in the Pro UTV Open class. Now the other UTV classes, check this out. So I think the Turbo UTVs are actually ahead of them still, as they've been ahead of them most of the day. Yeah, look at Austin Weiland is actually just ahead of him a little bit here, or very close to him actually. So the 2954 Austin Weiland still in front. He doesn't have quite as big of a lead now. Phil Blurton has closed the lead a little bit. You can see he's at 483 and Austin's at 495. However, it hasn't updated in 5 minutes, so he's going to be a couple miles more than what it says right there. So he's got about a 12, he's probably closer to 15 mile lead there. And Dylan is in there now. We just got that update. All right, so Dylan with DS Customs is driving the Austin Weiland vehicle. So the 2954, they got a new driver in there. So that's what's going on there. I don't know who's in the Phil Blurton car. I couldn't talk to everybody in this race. I tried to talk to as many people as I could before the race and figure out who was driving where to keep you guys posted. But I apologize. I don't know all the UTVs exactly who's in the car at what mile. So that's your first two. Then we have Justin Lambert back here and PJ Jones rounding out, fighting for third. That's third and fourth position. Ronnie Anderson in fifth. It seems like these guys have been in fifth like all day. Almost every time I look at these guys, they're in fifth. So that's Ronnie and RJ Anderson in there. RJ drove to 394. So that means that Ronnie is in there now, and he's going to drive to 680, and then their dad's going to get in at 680 and bring it to the finish. So I do know who's in that car. I did ask RJ that. Matt Burrows, and then Justin Smith, and then we have Jason Murray, Alex Baker, Austin Jones. Austin Jones definitely having some problems because every time he keeps falling back just a little bit when we check on him. And Mark Brunette. All right, so that covers pretty much those. Now, the only other UTV class we didn't show was the spec, or the stock class, not stock, sorry, the naturally aspirated. Actually, the stock too, we didn't show them either. Here's the naturally aspirated class. Caden Wells, just massive lead all day. He's still a massive lead for the 1995, mile 450. The next cars are Elias Hanna and Zach Seisel. Now, these guys are actually teammates right here. So we got two cars running together, and they're going almost the same speed. I wonder if they're actually, yeah. I was gonna say, I wonder if one of them's towing the other one, but I don't think so because they're moving a little bit. They're moving pretty slow, but they're too far apart. They're 0.9 of a mile apart. I don't really know a tow rope that's a mile apart. But this is teammates battling it out right here in the Honda cars, so kind of cool to see that. That's going to be for second and third. And then Joe Bolton is going to be fourth. And here you go, guys. Everybody, here's your update. Here's your Gordon update. We got the 1977 is currently in fifth. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. Yeah, 1977. Max Gordon is right here. Still moving, 39 miles an hour in fifth place. All right, one more update. And then I'm going to get a drink of water. So the last class that we are going to look at is going to be, you guys guessed it, right? We got one more class to look at. The best class in off-road racing. Here we go. Class 11. We kind of looked at them earlier, but we're just going to turn them on only right now. So like I said, they got to skip this. They did almost 90 miles. They skipped 90 miles, so that's why they are where they are here. But we have the first one is at mile 413. Second one, Alex Gonzalez, is at 391 moving, and the 1111 is at 31 miles an hour at mile 385 moving. So good. We got 3 Class 11s moving. 4, the 1121 is moving, and the 1106 is not. So not looking so good there. But we are looking good for a finisher. I'm feeling pretty good about a finisher now that these guys have made it this far. They're halfway through the race, and they're not even at 12 hours yet. Remember, these guys started actually close to noon today when they started, and they have 36 hours to finish. So they're literally about 12 hours in, and they have twice this long. They have 3 times this long to finish, and they're halfway through the race. The math is looking pretty good right now. As long as these guys keep it going, by cutting that 90 miles off, that really helps them have a chance to make the finish. But I'm feeling pretty confident now. We're going to get a Class 11 finish. So let's hope we do. All right, guys. I'm going to take a break. That was a rundown of everybody in the race right now that's going on. Hope you guys are staying awake. We got a few more hours. The first car, a lot of people are asking me what time I think the first finisher is going to be. Let's just go look and do a little bit of math real quick. So the leaders are, where's the lead cars? They're up here. So we have Luke McMillan. He's at 685. So I don't know if he was, this section's pretty fast actually through here. Gets a little slow through Europan. Let's see. So we got 820. Let's do some math real quick. We use a calculator. So 828. And where was he at? Let's see. He's at 685. So he has 143 miles to go. Just say he did 50 miles an hour average. That would be almost 3 hours, a little bit less than 3 hours. So I would say it's 11:20, 11:12, 1, 2. I'm looking pretty good still between 2 and 3. So I'm sticking with it between 2 and 3. I don't think he'll be there sooner than 2. So I think 2, maybe 145. We'll see. But I'm going to go with 2 right now, because I think he's going to be a little bit faster than 55 to the finish from here. There is a couple speed zones that are 37 for a little bit to come into play. I'm going to say right at 2 o'clock, we're going to see our first finisher. And it's either going to be Luke McMillan or it's going to be Dan McMillan right now. That's just all it is. And if Luke McMillan finishes first, he has to finish 1 minute ahead of his brother to get the win. If Dan is within 1 minute of him, Dan's going to be the winner. He doesn't have to pass Luke. He just has to finish within a minute of him. Right now, he's obviously more than a minute behind him because he's 685, 678. He's got about an 8-mile gap right now. So, yeah, the 8188, if you guys are looking, they're out of the race most likely here. They are on the highway, and so is the 1086. So that's what you're looking at there. All right. See you guys back at midnight. We'll see you tomorrow, right? I will see you guys tomorrow with your next update, your next Fishgistics update. Don't go to sleep. We're watching you guys. We know who's going to go to sleep. We have trackers on all your computers at home. We teamed up with Mark Zuckerberg. He got us these cool trackers there to use to track all you guys, all of your web cameras, all of your phone cameras we can see right now. So we're going to know who goes to sleep. We're going to write it down, and you guys are going to get a penalty. So no sleep. Everybody stay awake. We'll see you tomorrow in 40 minutes with your next